Okay, folks, welcome to this is going to be a very special video called Fan-Made Arthur DVD Ideas. Fan-Made Arthur DVD Ideas. It's going to be Fan-Made Arthur DVD Ideas. It's going to be split into 3 different parts. Part 1, which will be focused on the single DVDs. Part 2, which will focus on the DVD box sets. And Part 3, which will focus on the special DVD releases of Arthur, releasing the best of line. Okay. Without further ado, let's start it. So, on July 16, 2002, Arthur's Scary Stories was released on DVD. But let's imagine that 3 other Arthur DVD releases came out on the same day as the DVD of Arthur's Scary Stories, including Arthur's Valentine's Day, Arthur and Buster Fun, and Arthur's Fun with Grandparents. First, we're going to do Arthur's Valentine's Day. And this is a special video for ET DVD VHSC 2005, ET DVD VHSC 2005, and Jordan B03. So, on July 16, 2002, Arthur's Scary Stories was released on DVD. But, let's imagine that 3 other Arthur DVDs came out on the same day as the DVD of Arthur's Scary Stories, including Arthur's Valentine's Day, Arthur and Buster Fun, and Arthur's Fun with Grandparents. First, we're going to do Arthur's Valentine's Day. Okay, so, the front cover for Arthur's Valentine's Day would have Arthur holding out Valentine's Day cards and Buster holding out chocolate bars. And Binky would be holding out donuts covered in hearts. On the spine, it would have Dot's PBS Kids logo on it, and the color would be purple on the spine and on the back, and it would list 3 episodes on there. And the episodes for Arthur's Valentine's Day would be Love Notes for Muffy from Season 2, Muffy's New Best Friend from Season 4, and Bitsy's Bow from Season 5. And it would sponsor Libby's Juicy Juice, Post Alphabets, and Lego on the back cover. The disc for Arthur's Valentine's Day would be purple with lots of hearts. And at the beginning of Arthur's Valentine's Day, it would have the FBI warning screen, the Sony Wonder logo, the Random House Home Video logo, the DVD menu, then the Arthur theme song, which has the water splashing sounds at the end, and the start of the episode, Love Notes for Muffy. And at the end of Arthur's Valentine's Day, it would have the last few seconds of the episode, Bitsy's Bow, then the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from Season 5, then the Kiddio commercial, then the Arthur funding, and then it would have the Post Alphabets commercial, 26 little letters that make the words that let you share your feelings, then the Lego commercial, and then the Libby's Juicy Juice commercial. Then it would have the Arthur funding from Season 6 with Concord Grape Purple Polka Dot background. And then it would have the PBS Kids logo on this one. The PBS Kids logo on Arthur's Valentine's Day would be the Dash Transformation one. With Dash transforming from a caveman to a scuba diver to a robot. Then it would go to the DVD menu. Now we're going to go into Arthur and Buster Fun. The front cover for Arthur and Buster Fun would have Arthur and DW hanging out with Buster, and Buster would be playing his tuba on there. The spine would have Dash's PBS Kids logo, and the color would be green. And on the back cover, it would list 3 episodes, in which the episodes for Arthur and Buster Fun would be Arthur Accused from Season 1, Buster's Best Behavior from Season 4, and Nerves of Steel from Season 5. Even though Nerves of Steel already got a DVD release, Nerves of Steel is also on Arthur and Buster Fun on there. Nerves of Steel is also on Arthur and Buster Fun. And like before, the sponsors would include Libby's Juicy Juice, Post Alphabets, and Lego on the back cover. And the disc for Arthur and Buster Fun would be green. And at the beginning of Arthur and Buster Fun, it would have the FBI warning and the Sony Wonder logo, then the Random House Home Video logo, then the DVD menu, and then it would have the Arthur theme song. This time it would have the garbage cans clattering at the end, and the start of the episode, Arthur Accused. And then it would have the end credits at the end of Arthur and Buster Fun. It would have the last few seconds of the episode, Nerves of Steel, then the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from Season 5, then the Kiddio commercial, then the Arthur funding, then the Lego commercial, then the Libby's Juicy Juice commercial, and then it would have the Post Alphabets commercial, This time it would say 26 little letters that make up 1 million words that tell billions of stories. And then it would have the Arthur funding from Season 6 with the checkered green background. And the PBS Kids logo on Arthur and Buster Fun would be Dot Transformation, with Dot transforming from a tiger to an octopus to an astronaut. Then we'll go to the DVD menu. And now, we're going to go into Arthur's Fun with Grandparents, which would also be released on DVD on July 16, 2002, alongside Arthur and Buster Fun and Arthur's Valentine's Day. And the front cover would have Arthur, NDW, and Buster with Grandma Fora, and Grandpa Dave. And the spine would have Dot's PBS Kids logo on it, and the color would be yellow. And on the back, it would list 3 episodes, in which the episodes for Arthur's Fun with Grandparents would be Grandma Fora Appreciation Day, which is also on the VHS and DVD release of Arthur Celebration, and it's from Season 2. The Big Dig, which is from Season 5, and then it would have Arthur Loses His Marbles. Arthur Loses His Marbles already got a DVD release, and it had the Mark Rendell version on there. But for Arthur's Fun with Grandparents, Arthur Loses His Marbles would contain the Justin Bradley version on there. And the disc for Arthur's Fun with Grandparents would be yellow. And at the beginning of Arthur's Fun with Grandparents, it would have the FBI warning screen, then the Sony Wonder logo, then the Random House Home Video logo, then the DVD menu, and then the Arthur theme song, which also has the garbage cans clattering at the end. And the start of the episode, Grandma Fora Appreciation Day. And then at the end of the DVD of Arthur's Fun with Grandparents, it would have the last few seconds of the episode, Arthur Loses His Marbles, then the Arthur website bumper, and then it would have the end credits from Season 6 with the Techno remix, then the Kiddio commercial, and then the Arthur funding, Lego commercial, Libby's Juicy Juice commercial, and Post Alphabets commercial. 26 little letters that make up 1 million words that tell billions of stories. Then the Arthur funding from Season 6 with checkered green background. Then the PBS Kids logo on this is Dot Transformation. Dot transforms from a tiger to an octopus to an astronaut. Then the DVD menu. Alright. Now. On January 14th, 2003, Arthur's Family Fun, Arthur's Snow Day, Arthur's Famous Friends, and Arthur Goes to Hollywood came out on DVD. But let's imagine that 2 other Arthur DVD releases came out on January 14th, 2003, besides those 4. And they would be Arthur Takes Courage and Arthur's School Surprises. First, we're going to do Arthur Takes Courage. The front cover for Arthur Takes Courage would be recycled images from the front cover of Arthur's Teacher Trouble VHS and DVD release. And except it would read Arthur Takes Courage instead of Arthur's Teacher Trouble. The spine would have Dot's PBS Kids logo on it. And the color would be blue. The back cover would list 3 episodes on there. And the episodes for Arthur Takes Courage would be Pick a Car, Any Car from Season 7, Background Blues from Season 3, and Arthur, World's Greatest Gleeper from Season 1, which is also on the VHS of Arthur Learns About Honesty. And the disc for Arthur Takes Courage would be blue, looking pretty much like the disc of Arthur's Best School Days in the same shade of blue as Arthur Takes Courage. Now, the sponsors on the back cover of Arthur Takes Courage would be Libby's Juicy Juice, Post Alphabets, and Lego is actually correctly sponsored on there. At the beginning of Arthur Takes Courage, it would have the FBI warning screen and the Sony Wonder logo, then the Random House Home Video logo, then the DVD menu, and then the Arthur theme song, which has the glass breaking sounds on there. Then the start of the episode, Pick a Car, Any Car. And at the end of Arthur Takes Courage, after the last few seconds, it would have the last few seconds of the episode, Arthur, World's Greatest Gleeper, then the Arthur website bumper, and in the end credits, which are from Season 1, with WGBH Boston on there. Then it would have the Kiddio commercial, then the Arthur funding, then it would have the Post Alphabets commercial, 26 little letters that make the words that let you share your feelings, then the Lego commercial, and the Libby's Juicy Juice commercial. And then it would have the Arthur funding from Season 6 with Concord Great Purple Polka Dot background. And then the PBS Kids logo on this is Dash Transformation, with Dash transforming from a caveman to a scuba diver to a robot. Then it goes to the DVD menu. Oh, hello, ET DVD VHS 2005. How are you doing? Did you hear the contents for Arthur's Valentine's Day, Arthur and Buster Fun, and Arthur's Fun with Grandparents? In case you missed it, I might tell it again, unless you already heard it. Now, we're going to imagine one more Arthur DVD release that came out on January 14th, 2003. And it would be called Arthur's School Surprises. It's all right. All right. All right. Now we're going to imagine one more Arthur DVD release that came out on January 14th, 2003. And it would be called Arthur's School Surprises. The front cover for Arthur's School Surprises would have Arthur, Buster, Binky, Francine, Muffy, and the Brain all walking together in a line with Mr. Ratburn. And the spine would have Dot's PBS Kids logo, and the color would be red. And on the back, it would list 3 Arthur episodes. An ET DVD VHS 2005. Would you like to hear the interesting part? Alright, so the back cover is also red, and it would list 3 episodes, in which the episodes for Arthur's School Surprises would be Arthur's Substitute Teacher Trouble from Season 1, which is the only 11-minute episode on there, Arthur's Substitute Teacher Trouble. Then it would have 2 double-length episodes. It would have Arthur's Substitute Teacher Trouble, which is the only 11-minute episode on there. Then it would have April 9th, which is a double-length episode. And then it would have Elwood City Turns 100, which is another double-length episode. And it would read that the running time would be 70 minutes. And the disc for Arthur's School Surprises would also be colored red. At the beginning of Arthur's School Surprises, it would have the FBI warning screen, and then the Sony Wonder logo, and then the Random House Home Video logo, then the DVD menu, and then the Arthur theme song. This time it has Ziggy Marley and the Backstreet Boys singing in the opening titles, and it would have the glass breaking sounds at the end. Then the start of the episode, Arthur's Substitute Teacher Trouble. And at the end of Arthur's School Surprises, it would have the last few seconds of the episode, Elwood City Turns 100. Then it would have the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from Season 7. But instead of the Arthur theme, it would have the song That's Elwood City playing over the end credits. A similar thing happens on Arthur's Famous Friends, where the Arthur Season 4 end credits play Crazy Bus instead of the Arthur theme. And for Arthur's School Surprises, it would have the Season 7 credits with the song That's Elwood City playing over it. Then the Kiddo commercial, then the Arthur funding, and the Chuck E. Cheese's commercial, with the announcer saying, helping children discover the fun of developing their bodies and their minds. And then it would have the Libby's Juicy Juice commercial and the Post Alphabets commercial, 26 little letters that make the words that let you share your feelings. Then the Arthur funding from Season 7 with Concord Great Purple Polka Dot background, with grants from Ready to Be Snow Globe 1, the snow globe, with Dot, the girl, holding the snow globe. Then it would have the DVD menu. What did you think, ET DVD VHSD 2005? What did you think? Oh, hi, Joseph. So, the Arthur funding, on Arthur's School Surprises, it would have the Arthur funding from Season 7 with Concord Great Purple Polka Dot background, with grants from Ready to Learn, U.S. Department of Education, Public, at the end of Arthur's, all right. Arthur's School Surprises would have the Arthur funding from Season 7 with Concord Great Purple Polka Dot background, with grants from Ready to Learn, U.S. Department of Education, Public Broadcasting Service, and Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Viewers Like You is not shown on this release, but you get the point. Then the PBS Kids logo on this would be the Snow Globe one, with Dash ice skating in the snow globe, and Dot holding the snow globe. Then the DVD menu. I think the yellow background looks like a pizza with pepperoni and bacon on it. And what would you think of the snow globe bumper being on Arthur's School Surprises? Oh, okay, everybody. This next DVD release, Jordan B03 Made Me, would be released on June 10th, 2003, called Arthur's Storybook. And it would include, released on June 10th, 2003, called Arthur's Storybook, and which the episodes would be the same as the VHS release. Just Desserts from Season 5. At the beginning of the DVD of our first storybook that Jordan B03 made on paper, it would have the FBI warning, the Sony Wonder logo, Random House Home Video logo, and then a DVD menu, and then the Arthur theme song, which has the glass breaking sound on there. Then the start of the episode, Just Desserts. Just Desserts. At the end of the Just Desserts. At the end of our first storybook, it would have the last few seconds of DW's Tailspins. Then the And Now a Word from Us Kids segment would appear. Then the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from season 4. It would have the last few seconds of DW Tailspins. I did not know that. Now, at the end of our first storybook, the one that Jordan B03 wrote on paper, it would have the last few seconds of DW Tailspins, then the And Now a Word from Us Kids segment, then the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from season 4. Yeah, they do. For the Sony Wonder DVD releases. Now, Arthur's storybook, Jordan B03 wrote on paper, and at the end of that, it would have the last few seconds of DW Tailspins, and then the And Now a Word from Us Kids segment. Then it would have the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from season 4. Oh yeah, I do. Which are from season 4. Then the Arthur funding. All right. At the end of Arthur's storybook DVD that Jordan on paper would have the last few seconds of the. At the end of Arthur's storybook, at the end of the DVD of Arthur's storybook that Jordan B03 made me on paper. Yeah, they do. Jordan B03 made the closing on paper for Arthur's storybook, and at the end of the one that Jordan B03 made me for Arthur's storybook, it would have the last few seconds of DW Tailspins, and then the And Now a Word from Us Kids segment, then the Arthur website bumper, and then the end credits, which are from season 4, then the Kiddio commercial, Arthur funding, Chuck E. Cheese's commercial, helping children discover the fun of developing their bodies and their minds, Libby's Juicy Juice commercial, and the Post-Alphabets commercial, 26 little letters that make the words that let you share your feelings. Then the Arthur funding from season 6 with Concord Great Purple polka dot background would be used. And the PBS Kids logo is Dash transformation, with Dash transforming from a caveman to a scuba diver to a robot. Now, another Arthur DVD release that Jordan B03 wrote on paper was Arthur's Mystery Files, which would be released on DVD on September 2nd, 2003. And the episodes would be Arthur Accused from season 1, Fern's Slumber Party from season 2, and Binky Rules from season 3. And the sponsors would be Juicy Juice, Post-Alphabets, and Chuck E. Cheese is sponsored on the back, just like Arthur's storybook. Arthur's School Surprises would also have Chuck E. Cheese being sponsored on the back cover as well. And at the now the one for Arthur's Mystery Files, the one that Jordan B03 wrote on paper, at the beginning of Arthur's Mystery Files, the one that he made, it would have the FBI warning, the Sony Wonder logo, Random House Home Video logo, then a DVD menu, and then it would have the Arthur theme song, and it would have the garbage cans clattering at the end. And then it would have the start of the episode, Arthur accused. At the end of Arthur's Mystery Files, it would have the last few seconds of the episode, Binky Rules. And then I believe it would have the "And Now a Word from Us Kids" segment. Then the Arthur website bumper, and in the end credits, which are from season 3. Then the Kiddio commercial, Arthur funding, Libby's Juicy Juice commercial, Post Alphabets commercial, the 26 little letters that make the words that let you share your feelings. The Chuck E. Cheese's exercise commercial is used after this. Then the Arthur funding from season 7 with Concord Great Purple Polka Dot background, except it's the seasons 1 through 4 reruns version. Then the PBS Kids logo would be Dot transformation, with Dot the girl transforming from a tiger to an octopus to an astronaut. We already mentioned Arthur Takes Courage, but I can repeat the closing again. So what was the bonus episode you picked? Okay, now, let's imagine that on April 6th, 2004, now, let's imagine that on April 6th of 2004, 3 Arthur DVDs would come out on, let's imagine that 3 Arthur DVDs, Arthur's Mystery Envelope already appeared on Arthur Cracks the Case. Now, let's imagine that on April 6, 2004, 3 Arthur DVDs came out. I know that on April 6th of 2004, the Sesame Street release, What's the Name of That Song, was released on VHS and DVD on April 6, 2004. But let's imagine 3 Arthur DVDs were released on April 6, 2004. And they would include Arthur's Field Trip Festivities, Arthur Perseveres, and Arthur's Sister Adventures. Now, first we're going to do Arthur's Field Trip Festivities. The front cover would have Arthur, Buster, Francine. The front cover for Arthur's Field Trip Festivities would have Arthur, Buster, Francine. The front cover for Arthur's Field Trip Festivities would have Arthur, Buster, Francine, Muffy, and the Brain all riding a bus. You're right about that. So, the front cover for Arthur's Field Trip Fest. Oh. What is it? Now. Hello. Okay. The front cover for Arthur's Field. Let's imagine that on April 6th, 2004, 3 Arthur DVDs would be released. On April 6, 2004. Let's imagine that on April 6, 2004, that 3 Arthur DVDs were released, including Arthur's Field Trip Festivities, Arthur Perseveres, and Arthur's Sister Adventures. If you're talking about the seasons 1 through 4 reruns version, it would have Dot transformation. Oh, the Snow Globe bumper, I believe, would come after the purple background in the Season 7 funding with grants from Ready to Learn, U.S. Department of Education Public Broadcasting Service, and Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Even though I've not seen the snow globe bumper when I was watching ARPA at that time, at least not to my knowledge anyway. Now, let's imagine that on April 6th, 2004, free ARPA DVDs were released. ARPA's Field Trip Festivities, ARPA Perseveres, and ARPA Sister Adventures. Yeah, I would. First, we're going to do ARPA's Field Trip Festivities. The front cover for ARPA's Field Trip Festivities would have ARPA, Buster, Francine, Muffy, would have Arthur, Buster, Francine, Muffy, Binky, and the Brain all riding a bus together. Okay, so the front cover for Arthur's Field Trip Festivity, the front cover for Arthur's Field Trip Festivities would have Arthur, Buster, Francine, Muffy, Binky, and the Brain all riding a bus together. And the spine would have Dot's PBS Kids logo being shown, and the spine would have Dot's PBS Kids logo being shown, and the spine would have Dot's. If they made you a little scared, that's all right. Okay, let's imagine that on April 6th, 2004, free ARPA DVDs would be released. Let's imagine that on April 6th, 2004, free ARPA DVDs would be released. Let's imagine that on April 6th, 2004, free ARPA DVDs would be released, including ARPA's Field Trip Festivities, ARPA Perseveres, and alright. No, I don't have Discord. Let's imagine that on April 6, 2004, free ARPA DVDs would be released, including ARPA's Field Trip Festivities, ARPA Perseveres, and ARPA's Fun with Grandparents. No. ARPA's Field Trip Festivities, ARPA Perseveres, and ARPA's Sister Adventures, excuse me. Let's imagine that on April 6, 2004, there would be free ARPA DVD releases. Hold on 1 second, folks. If it's starting to glitch here, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop doing live streams if it keeps up, but all right. Let's imagine that on April 6, 2004, there would be free ARPA DVD releases, including ARPA's Field Trip Festivities, ARPA Perseveres, and ARPA's Fun with Grandparents. And ARPA's Sister Adventures, excuse me. The front cover, yeah, they do. All right. Keeps up, I'm afraid I'm going to have to end the stream and film it on camera instead. Okay, guys. It was a nice offer, but I'm probably going to keep the mistakes